Mama Musa?
Just let him get on with it.
Just let him get on with it. That's the worst opening ever. Hey, this is gonna be Tuesday, April, I don't know, sometime. We're gonna talk about Camp Tecumseh stuff. See, I am not the DJ at the dance. I am at the dance. I'm actually running the awkward camera station where you get to take a picture with that special someone. I'm the one who gets to be taking the picture of you and special someone because I decided to go for the much more awkward one than being DJ. So I gave that one up and went a different direction. Now that I know a whole bunch of kids are going, I'm super stoked to make it awkward. It's been great. We'll get to your camp info in a moment. And day of service, again, you will have your choice today during Best, where you get a chance to sign in. Right. Camp info. What we have, I'm going to go through and cover everything with camp to get you guys ready for Monday when we leave. I did my best to put you with people that you will be happy with camp-wise. So that was my goal when setting it up. I did the same thing counselor-wise. So when I was going through and making groups, I tried to put athletic kids with athletic counselors. I tried to put dorky kids with dorky counselors. So I tried to put you with people that I thought you would like in some way. Fingers crossed that it worked out. If you turned in a late permission slip, I can't guarantee anything. You got put more in a random place, but at least you're in a group somewhere. Groups can still change. Sometimes we have counselors who get sick, and then I have to adjust and move things around, which we've had every couple of years. There'll be a kid who gets sick over the weekend, and then I have to move those kids to other groups. So that can happen. Or if you're a turd, I can change your group too. But I'm hoping that's not going to be the issue this year. I will answer questions, just not till the end. If you look on yellow sheet, there's a big blank area. That's where you can write down your questions. That way I can help you guys at the end. What I am going to do now is give you the information you are going to write down. So I am going to give you your study group letter, then your cabin number, bus number, table number, and then I'm going to tell you whether or not you are a hopper. A hopper has nothing to do with a bunny rabbit. You guys are so excited for that. At camp, we have to set our own table for dinner, lunch, and breakfast. If we don't set the table, you don't eat. And every kid is going to have to eventually be the one that sets the table. And we call the table setting people hoppers. I had to pick 2 responsible kids at each table to do the very first one. So if you are a responsible kid, there is a chance you will be hopper. If you're not chosen as hopper, it doesn't mean you're irresponsible. It just means there's another kid more responsible at your table. And if you think you are irresponsible, and I chose you at hopper, that means there are even worse kids at your table than you. But everyone at your table will be hopper. This just means that you are most likely the most responsible at your table. Study group letter. That is the one that you want to pay attention to. This is the group that you spend all day with. We have 26 study groups. So throughout the day, you will be with this group of people. This is 5 to 8 kids. And it can be either gender, dudes and chicks. And you'll have 2 to 3 counselors who are going to be walking around with you while you're there. Then when it comes, you should have a friend in study group. Unless you really made poor choices or turned it in really late, one of your 4 friends should be listed. For cabin, I tried to give you another one of your friends. It might be the same friend. It might be a different friend from your list. But I tried to give you a friend when it came to cabin. Your bus, everyone in your cabin is on the same bus. If I say you're cabin 5, you're on bus 1. If I say you're in cabin 22, you're on bus 8. Everyone in that cabin is on the same bus. So if your friend is in your cabin, they're also on your bus. Table, that's random. You may not have a friend at your table. That is a bit more split up, so you get a chance to meet random people on that one. Unless you have a parent going. If you have a parent going, I try to give you a friend at your table. That was my reward to you for having a parent who went along. If you don't have a parent going, you may just be at a random table with people. Some of them may be scary, some of them may not be scary. It just sort of depends from there. All right. Home children, it'll pop back up in a second, but I'm going to read off groups and you're not going to want to pay attention to this, so just hang on 1 second. Time back in. All right. So now that you have information, let me go through and cover camp stuff with you again. Save questions till the end. If you have them, I'll be more than happy to answer. All right, so Monday, you need to be at school between 8:30 and 8:45. Your goal is to be here prior to the crazy rush of kids getting dropped off in the morning. So you can be here before 8:30, like our high school counselors are going to be here around 8:15. I would not recommend showing up much later than 8:45 because it is going to be chaos out there in front, and you want to avoid as much chaos as possible. Do not show up late because we will leave you behind. If you show up late that day and we can't get you onto a bus, you just stay here. Your parents can drive you up if they want to do the 3-hour round trip. That's up to them. But we don't come back for you, so please be here. Wednesday, when we get back to school at 1:45 in the afternoon. You do not go back to class. You're not going to 6th and 7th period. When you get back on Wednesday, you get to go home. So at 1:45, if your parents show up to get you, you go home. If your parents were at camp, go home with them. If you want to stay here, you can. We're still not sending you to class. You just stay in the cafeteria and you get to take a little nap on your little bedding until 4 o'clock, and then you can get picked up or you can ride the bus home. So that gives you an idea from there, but 1:45 Wednesday, you are good to go. You do not go back to class. These 4 things, these are the 4 bags you need to bring to camp. You are bringing 4 bags with you. Your first one is a sack lunch, which I'll talk more about in a moment, but we get there after their lunch has ended. So you need to pack your own lunch, and I'll give you more information along those lines. 2, bring a bag that you can carry around throughout the day, just like a little drawstring one. I don't recommend bringing like your giant school backpack. You just want something that you can throw a hoodie in because in the morning it's going to be chilly, in the evening it's going to be cold, during the day it's going to be hot, and you're going to be able to go back and forth and do layers. Most likely you're going to bring a hat if you're smart, and you're going to want to take off the hat at times. So the little string bag of some kind will make your life much easier. Do you have to have one? No, it just makes your life easier. 3 and 4 are the you have to brings. Your suitcase or duffel bag. This is the one that, if you look at the top of your desk, it should be smaller than the top of your desk. You are only bringing clothes for 3 days. Boys, bring clothes for 3 days. Girls, you're only there 3 days. So it's going to be a bit of a balance. Girls, because this applies more to you than boys, I'm serious about the size of the bag. If you show up with a giant bag, I will go through it on the front porch of FJH and throw stuff out I don't think you need. If you think that's awkward, it's awkward. I'm just giving you the heads up. The reason being is we don't have room. It is all of your stuff is getting smashed onto a bus. And if you guys all bring giant squishies, there's no room for people. So we will tie your bag to the back of the bus as we go down the highway. And then by the time we get there, there's nothing but shreds left. Or you're going to figure out how to write your question down and wait till the end so I wouldn't have to make fun of you in front of other people. So you want to make sure it is not a giant bag. Can you bring stuff like hair dryers and things like that? Sure. It just takes up some of the room in your bag. That's fine with me. Your other bag is where all of your bedding goes. It's what I call your squishy stuff. Because this is what we are chucking, as in we throw them. Your bag of squishy stuff. We will be throwing it out of the bus. We'll be throwing it towards your cabin. So you want to put nothing breakable in there. It should be just your pillow, your sleeping bag, squishy stuff that goes into there, and that is it. And so we are going to be literally squishing them into places. So you just put the squishy things into it. And I'll walk through that here in just a second also. Those are the 4 bags. Lunch, and then your little duffel bag that you carry around with you, and then your clothing, and then all of your squishy, sleepy stuff. So if you turn yellow sheet over, that is your packing list. So it's going to show you the same thing you see up there about the main things that you are going to want to bring. For bedding stuff, you can either do sleeping bag or do like a bedroll. I'm not a sleeping bag person. I just bring sheets, and then I just have like a sheet and a blanket and a pillow. You'll want to bring a pillow of some kind because there's no pillow there. You do get to have a mattress. It's like a twin size mattress. So when I bring sheets, I just bring some of my kids' old bed sheets because it's like a normal kid-sized bed, and then you should be good to go from there. If you want to do a sleeping bag, more power to you. The cabins are heated, so you're not going to be freezing at night. So that's why I don't bring a sleeping bag because I get all warm. So keep that in mind as you are there. And this will be the stuff that you squished together. Other than that, you can look through the stuff on there. Our temperature next week should be good. It's not going to snow. Rain may happen. It's Indiana. Right now it says there's a chance of rain, but not a big chance of rain. But next week it could all of a sudden be a giant chance of rain. I don't know. I recommend you bring some kind of waterproof cap, or not cap, top, like something, coat, something, because if it rains, you hike in the rain. And so you want to have something waterproof on you to make your life much, much easier on that one. If you don't use it and it stays in your cabin, that's okay. If you need it and it's back at your house, life sucks. So I would recommend bringing it and then just leaving it there. I mean, worst case scenario, you have a trash bag. And you can put your arms through there and you can be a little trash baby as you run around. But that's going to be up to you. So here is how the packing of your squishy stuff is going to work. It is going to need to go into a trash bag. So you are going to need to find a big trash bag that you will stuff squishy stuff into. You will then need to write your name and your cabin number on trash bag, probably on a piece of tape, because you can't use a black Sharpie on a black bag or we're going to make fun of you. The reason you want to put your name information on there is because when we're chucking this stuff around, sometimes things get misplaced. Or there's a chance Monday morning you may be a dum-dum. And when it says put all of your stuff in this area, you're going to be distracted by friends and put it in the wrong area. And then when we get to camp, if your name is not on it, it gets put into just a random pile of stuff. And then come nighttime, you have nothing to cuddle with and sleep. If your name is on it and your cabin's on it, we will drive it to your cabin to give to you. It makes your life much easier. Here's the part where sometimes learning is painful, because you guys will ignore me, and then they'll have that one kid who does not write the stuff on there, and they get to camp, and they're like, where's my stuff? And I go, did you put your name on it? And they go, no! And I'm like, sucks to be you. And so then you get to go collect leaves and cover yourself with them. So write name on it. I try to make a big deal to help you out, so you do not forget. I also sent this to your parents to help them remind you, but that requires you to talk to them. So hopefully that helps you as far as that bag goes. For your lunch that you are going to be packing, do not bring any kind of soda. When we get there on Monday, we show up after they have done lunch. So you have to bring your own bag with you for lunch, whatever it may be. If you don't bring your lunch on Monday, you don't eat lunch at all. There's no food to give you. So if you come up to me on Monday and go, me no have lunch, you have two options. One, look around at the trees to find which one has the best tasting bark, and you go ahead and sample each one. Or the kids in your cabin, you learn how to perform little dances for them, and they're going to throw little Cheetos on the ground, and then you get to scurry around and eat them, and you get to become a really good dancer to entertain them. Otherwise, you're out of luck. You have to bring food with you. Don't bring soda for two reasons. One, ants. You can bring snacks. If you want to bring like potato chips and Sour Patch Kids, more power to you. Because if you spill those, we can just take a broom and go and push them outside, and then the ants follow it. But if you dump Pepsi everywhere, we can't, it doesn't work that way. And now you get to have a whole bunch of new little friends. So because of that, you cannot bring soda. Also, remember the part about us throwing things around? And if you happen to have Mountain Dew in there, and we throw it onto the bus, and it goes, now all your stuff is soggy and sticky, and it makes life so much more fun. So do not bring any kind of soda. Bring snacks, bring Gatorade, bring stuff like that, but do not bring a thing that is going to explode or has sugary liquid stuff into it. Food, you can bring all you want. I could care less about that. That is easy to sweep out. And then I also recommend putting your name on your little bag on the off chance you're going to lose it. It should be in your drawstring bag. But again, some of you are special and may not have it with you, so you may want to put your name on it. You know your own level of special. And if you're like, yeah, that's me, then put name on bag. But if you're like, I'm a big kid, then you may be safe. So while we're there, bring comfy shoes. You are hiking between 3 and 6 miles each day. that is a lot of movement. You want to have comfortable shoes while you are there. So make sure whatever shoes you're bringing are ones that you can do a bunch of walking in. They don't have to be boots. You're welcome to bring tennis shoes. That's fine. As long as they're shoes you don't mind walking around a lot in. Also, bring good socks and bring extra socks. One, you want good socks because I know, girls, you like to wear the low socks that make your ankles look adorable, but if it ends up chafing and all of a sudden you have giant blisters because you wore poor socks and you come to me and you're like, my feet, all I do is give you a Band-Aid and go at it, bucko, and out you go again. And you just get to walk around with your bloody stumps. So wear good socks, that'll keep you out there. Two, bring extra socks because if it rains and we force you to hike in the rain, you're going to have squish toe and you're going to want to have backup socks. Or maybe you're with the special kid that falls into the lake while canoeing. You're going to want to have extra socks. Or maybe you're not as good at balance as you think. And when you're going across the tree that's across the creek, that's the only way we have to cross it is this big tree that fell down. And you're going across and you're like, look at what? Then down you go. Again, extra socks will make your life much easier. For real. There's a creek you cross, you have to walk across a tree. No open shoes at all. No slides, no Crocs, no flip-flops. If you want to bring them and you want to use them in your cabin, I don't care about that. I'm not creeping in your cabin. I mean when you're out walking around. That's when you have to have actual real shoes. And again, this is not me doing it because I mean and hate you. I mean, I am and I do. But it comes back to the fact that I've learned from the special kids of the past. Open shoes expose toes. You're in the woods with trees that drop sticks. And when you're going through there, there's a chance you're going to fall behind your group at some point and be running to catch up to them and not paying attention to sticks on ground. And we've had that one time where a kid was running and stick went ka-chunk right between toes and then falls and screams and they had to carry kid all the way back to camp with his 11th toe right there. And then I'm the one that has to hold the foot down and go and pull it out while they scream. I don't want to experience that again. That's a level of bonding I don't want. So if you show up Monday and I see you wearing shoes like this, I'm going to tell you to go get your real shoes. And if you go, I don't have them, you don't go to camp. And you stay here because I'm not playing the 11-toe game again. So you have to have real shoes. Along those same lines, don't bring nice shoes. Because I've had kids in the past who get their brand new pair of Air Force Ones and they're wanting to look good. Your shoes are going to get wrecked while you are there. So you want to make sure you are wearing old shoes and then you should be good. No nice shoes. Or if you wear nice shoes, don't complain to me when they're not nice shoes anymore. It's not a hotel. We give you a bed. That's it. You are going to want to bring your own towel to dry off after you take a shower. And you will take a shower. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But if you don't bring towel, you get to use your favorite shirt to dry off with. And if you didn't bring extra shirts, then you get to use your bedding. If you didn't bring bedding, you get to use leaves. So make sure you bring towel. Same thing with toothbrush and toothpaste and soap and shampoo. Like all of those things you have to bring on your own. If you don't, you're going to have to make friends with people in your cabin and go, ooh, yum yum toothpaste. Can I have some of that? And can I use the other end of your toothbrush? And you're going to have some real weird bonding going on. You know what this is?
Deodorant.
You want to bring deodorant because if you don't bring deodorant, it's going to be bad. You are hiking outside in the sun all day. You are going to be sweaty. I know. Girls, you glisten. You're glistening, going to be stanky because you are going to be out there the entire day. You are going to need to shower. Now, realize there may be people who refuse these directions and you're like, that doesn't bother me. They're going to be in your cabin. They're going to be in your group. They're going to be sitting at your table. And this is sometimes where that social awkwardness comes in. When that kid's sitting at your table on day 3 and your whole group is like, oh, Or you're walking in your group and you make them walk behind you because when they walk in front of you, birds fall out of the air. Don't be that kid. You want to make sure you are not stanky. Again, I wish I was like joking about these things, but these are all things I've had to deal with. So I figure if I make a big deal of it now, maybe it becomes less of an issue later. Picture, I took a cabin. So this is what your cabin is going to look like. Now given, yours will look a little dirtier because after you're in there for all of 5 minutes, it's going to probably look slightly more wrecked. But for the first second when you walk in, it looks like this. Like they're nice cabins when you first go in. Almost most of them have a table in the middle for you guys to sit and like play cards and talk to each other or put all your piles of food. This is what your little beds look like. You have plugs, so if you guys need to plug in stuff, you can plug in things. It's not going to be an issue. Over here is the bathrooms. You're not using trees. You're going to actual bathrooms. And so when you go into the bathroom,
that looks like
bathrooms might look a little more janky, but this is like the shower area, so they're separate. Like you're going to have a sink area out here, then you go in, you're going to pull back this little thing, and there's like a little changing room, and another thing you pull back, and then there's the shower. So there's like individual shower stalls. There's usually like 3 to 4 to 5, depending on how it is. So it's not like an open shower. We're not like shooting a hose at you. It's like your own little area you get to go into.
peeing outside.
No, there's bathrooms all over the place, and they're not called trees. I highly recommend bringing a hat. You don't have to bring a hat that's cool as these if you don't have that cool of a hat. I understand. But bring a hat like Bryce, Noah. The idea being is that you're going to be outside hiking and it is going to be hot and you're going to want to protect yourself, so I recommend it. You're going to have hat head. If you don't have hat head, you're going to have sweat head. So you're just going to have to get used to the fact that the hair is going to be awful. Girls, can you bring hair dryers? Yes. Can you bring hair curlers? Yes. Will we make fun of you? Yes. Because realize, as soon as you curl your hair or whatever you want to do, as soon as you step out and hike for an hour, it's just going to go all over the place anyway. So that's where the hat's going to come in. Same thing, I've had girls go, do we have time to put on makeup? Sure, if you want. You just have to wake up earlier because you have to be out of your cabin at a certain time. Plus, you're hiking all day, so by the end of 4 o'clock, you're just going to have it running down your face anyway, so you can blend in with raccoons. It is going to be sunny while you're there. For those of you who have your lily white pasty skin, we will be putting suntan lotion on you because every year we have a kid that gets crispy and fried and they have like bright red tomato arms. So if we see you, if you don't put it on yourself, we are going to spatula it on you because we don't want you to get burnt. No iPad, no knives, regardless. I know you're worried about the Indiana brown bear, but again, if the Indiana brown bear comes at you if you're out there hiking, your knife does nothing. You could throw your knife at it. The only thing that's going to save you from the Indiana brown bear is running. You run from it. If you're afraid you're not fast, don't have to be faster than the bear, faster than the kid next to you. If you're not faster than the kid next to you, here's your solution. Now you are, and that's called problem solving. Preferably a star, but depends on who's in your group. And then the Wi-Fi, there is Wi-Fi in the dining hall, not so much in the cabins. Girls, some of your cabins do because you're close to dining hall. So you're going to get like a little bit of bar. Boys, you're in the boonies. So at night, you're out of luck. But during mealtime, they do have it there, so you can keep your streaks going. Bring money, because they do have a trading post while we're there, so you can buy food, you can buy soda and pop. They also have things like hacky sacks and toys and sweatshirts and stuff like that. Keep money with you. The cabins don't lock, and so don't come in there with like your giant flop of money like you're a rapper, then throw it down in the cabin. Because when you come back from your shower, the whole group's going to be like, I don't know, a raccoon came in and took it. And now it's going to be gone, and there's nothing we can do. So keep it with you the whole time to make your life easier. Okay, questions you have that I have not covered. Wally.
Okay,
did you like rent the entire place out, or is there gonna be kids from other schools there?
Depends. Some years there's two different sections. There's a bottom camp that we have all of, and there's a top camp where they have like a whole separate area. Sometimes it's used, sometimes it's not. Usually it is not. Typically we're the only ones at all of camp, just because no one else seems to go when we do. Luhu?
So, like, in the morning, like on Monday when we get there, are there going to be buses that like pick us up from our house to the school, or do we have to drive?
Well, I mean, you can ride the normal school bus if you want to take all 4 of those bags with you on the bus. But that's up to you. We don't have like a special bus that goes to you, no. We just have our bus. Dragoo?
Can my mom take my stuff in her car?
Absolutely.
When she drives down?
We highly recommend. She can't take you because we have legal reasons, but she can take all your stuff to make it less on there. And she can take your friend's
She's
stuff
going-
too.
She's going for both, and so is my dad. 'Cause
yes.
they clearly have a favorite child.
Clearly.
It's all the stuff that you just went over on campus. Yeah, is it like
The packing list is in front of you. This video will be because I'm getting ready to post it.
okay.
Does that work? Okay. Lori?
Is a school bag like okay to be able to pack stuff in?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
As
like
far
my-
as
your
like,
backpack, can you
Like my
pack
school
it?
backpack is
Right.
Okay for like
Is
a
that like
duffel bag or whatever.
for your clothes.
if you, I mean, you want it for your suitcase? I
Yeah.
would imagine, absolutely.
Okay.
You mean like your one you carry around during the day? It might be a little thicker than what you want just because you're going to be hiking all day.
Because I think
I
the
don't know.
only bag I have that's
I'm bringing hats.
Steve?
When do you leave the cabin?
So Tuesday morning you leave at 7 a.m. Wednesday morning you leave at 6:30 a.m.
6:30
Guys, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
awake
So this is going to be a bit of a shock to some of your systems on that one.
to get ready. It takes me like.
If it helps,
Hey guys,
that's
get
a
ready
you
to get
issue, not a me
stuff
issue.
through.
So
About to be me.
Why 6:30?
Why that?
because we need to have a lot of time to go hiking, we're not letting you sleep in.
I need to pack up right now.
What's that? Yeah, the bells get ready to ring. We're done.
Everything okay?
Tomorrow we will continue back to our book. If you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to me.